This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, so we are URANTIA book, paper 4, chapter 4, realization of God. Anybody would like to begin reading?
I'm not sure I'm reading today. I'll start.
Okay.
The realization of God. God is the only stationary, self-contained, and changeless being in the whole universe of universes, having no outside, no beyond, no past, and no future. God is purposive energy, creative spirit, and absolute will, and these are self-existent and universal. Since God is self-existent, he is absolutely independent. The very identity of God's inimical to change is inimical. The very idea of God is inimical to change. What did you say?
The very identity of God?
What did I say?
Idea.
Ah. The very identity of God is inimical to change. I, the Lord, change not. God is immutable, but not until you achieve paradise status can you even begin to understand how God can pass from simplicity to complexity, from identity to variation, from quiescence to motion, from infinity to finitude, from the divine to the human, and from unity to duality and triunity. Triunity.
Where do they get these words from? Like,
well, if there isn't a word existing, you just make it up. It makes.
But we know what it means, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
It's self-explanatory, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just really enjoy that kind of like how it comes on. You're just left with a smile, and I love that above all else.
Mm.
Yeah,
I guess
perhaps
it sort
that
of
was the
knocks you off
intention.
your usual perch, which has got to be a good thing.
That's for sure. It definitely dislodges the mind from its fixed position.
Yeah.
And God can thus modify the manifestations of his absoluteness because divine immutability does not imply immobility.
I'm
God,
not really sure what immutability is.
I think it's unchangeable.
Yeah.
Yeah, mutable is movement.
Mutable is movement. Okay, so immutable is non-movement. It's like sameness. Does not.
Unchanging over time or unable to be changed. An immutable fact. Yeah.
So it does not imply immobility. God has will. He is will. God is the being of absolute self-determination. There are no limits to his universe reactions save those which are self-imposed, and his free will acts are conditioned only by those divine qualities and perfect attributes which inherently characterize his eternal nature. Therefore, is God related to the universe as the being of final goodness plus a free will of creative infinity.
Wow. Wow. Mm.
The
I like
Father,
that.
no,
No, go on, sorry.
the Father Absolute is the creator of the central and perfect universe and the Father of all other creators. Personality, goodness, and numerous other characteristics God shares with man and other beings, but infinity of will is his alone. God is limited in his creative acts only by the sentiments of his eternal nature and by the dictates of his infinite wisdom. God personally chooses only that which is infinitely perfect, hence the supernal perfection of the central universe. And while the Creator sons fully share his divinity, even phases of his absoluteness, they are not altogether limited by that finality of wisdom which directs the Father's infinity of will. Hence, in the Michael order of sonship, creative free will becomes even more active, wholly divine, and well nigh ultimate, if not absolute. The Father is infinite and eternal, but to deny the possibility of his volitional self-limitation amounts to a denial of this very concept of his volitional absoluteness.
All right, I'm going to have to ask. Sorry, volitional. Who knows? I don't have my phone here, so I can't look it up. Volition.
Volitional, relating to the use of one's will. Acceptance is a volitional act.
Oh,
So it's of your own choice, I guess, your own
volitional
Yeah,
decision.
it's your own
self.
volition. It's your own, you know.
Something volitional is done on purpose, like deciding to walk to the library to return your overdue books.
So it's a purposeful act, and he says right in the first paragraph here, God is purposive energy, purposive creative, which is creative spirit. Purposive energy, volitional self-limitation.
Things done deliberately.
Wow, it's too hard.
I also love that bit where he says, God personally chooses only that which is infinitely perfect. And I think that perfection is not our idea of perfection.
Yeah,
No.
I think it's a different thing altogether. Like a perfection of the unknown to the human capacity to comprehend.
I would think so, yeah.
But experiencing just even a tiny little bit of a tiny fragment of that truth, just for a moment, it shows you that that's true, that it's that is such a frequency that would dislodge your body completely from being so dense and slow. I had to say that. Okay.
Alison, would you like to take over?
sure. God's absoluteness pervades all 7 levels of universe reality.
Mm.
And the whole of this absolute nature is subject to the relationship of the Creator to his universe creature family. Precision may characterize Trinitarian justice in the universe of universes, but in all his vast family relationship with the creatures of time, the God of universes is governed by divine sentiment. First and last, eternally, the infinite God is a father of all the possible titles by which he might appropriately be known. I have been instructed to portray the God of all creation as the universal Father. In God.
That's a really good speed, Alison. Thank you. That's really good, actually.
I'm doing it at this speed so I can get some of it as I read it.
Fantastic. Because
that helps us too.
You know, in that part of us that is the spirit of truth within us, which everybody has one. I think that slow thing, it has more so-called time to reverberate in ourselves so we can realize it.
It's like
that's really good, actually.
I have to give it the chance to get beyond the usual blocks.
Exactly. And it's almost like its birth is like, as soon as I start going slower, I'm just going like, oh God, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
There's a time to get it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm feeling quite emotionally sort of open as I read it.
Love it.
In God the Father.
Actually, you know, emotionally, it puts you in emotion. You become alive. You know, the emotion is so judged in us.
And that word motion is in emotion.
Yes, it's
wow, and I've never noticed that before.
It's beautiful. It's a movement. This is so important.
You
know, from us who do the right use of world, you know, this is so, you know, we're so familiar with this.
Yeah.
It reverberates the dense particles, you know.
In God the Father, free will performances are not, I have no idea what he's saying. Free will performances are not ruled by power.
Did you say power? Did you say power?
Power.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nor are they guided by intellect alone. Free will performances. Nor are they guided by intellect alone. The divine personality is defined as consisting in spirit and manifesting himself to the universes as love. I'm going to read that again. The divine personality is defined as consisting in spirit and manifesting himself to the universes as love. Therefore, in all his personal relations with the creature personalities of the universes, the first source and center is always and consistently a loving Father. God is a Father in the highest sense of the term. He is eternally motivated by the perfect idealism of divine love. And that tender nature finds its strongest expression and greatest satisfaction in loving and being loved.
Wow. Beautiful.
In science, God is the first cause. In religion, the universal and loving Father. In philosophy, the one being who exists by himself, not dependent on any other being for existence, but beneficently conferring reality of existence on all things and upon all other beings.
Beautiful.
But it requires revelation to show that the first cause of science and the self-existent unity of philosophy are the God of religion, full of mercy and goodness, and pledged to effect the eternal survival of his children on earth. Pledged to effect.
Wow.
We crave the concept of the infinite, but we worship the experience idea of God. We crave the concept of the infinite, but we worship the experience idea of God. Our anywhere and any time capacity to grasp the personality and divinity factors of our highest concept of deity. Any time capacity. The consciousness of a victorious human life on earth is born of that creature faith which dares to challenge each recurring episode of existence when confronted with the awful spectacle of human limitations.
Awful spectacle.
By the unfailing declaration, even if I cannot do this, there lives in me one who can and will do it, a part of the Father Absolute of the universe of universes. And that is the victory which overcomes the world, even your faith.
Beautiful.
Right, shall I carry on with someone else?
Could even just sit for a moment because it's
Sure.
so
Yes.
potent, isn't it?
I mean, I guess that last paragraph sort of throws me into this, back into, I've been really struggling with the state of the world, and it's been coming into my consciousness a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even if I cannot do this, there lives in me one who can and will do it.
So it becomes the eternal play of where the fuck are you?
Well, yeah.
When you
Yeah,
ask
what the
in your
hell?
whole
Why
heart.
the fuck aren't you doing something about this now? We're asking and asking and asking, and I am feeling, and I see it in people, and like the desperation here.
Yeah.
There's desperation, and it is urgent. There's an urgency.
Yes. But it is still us. It is still our putting those limits on, like.
Yeah, but I keep
ask,
thinking,
yes,
whatever I do, like I'm doing what I can to the
Yes.
best of my ability to bring myself, into a wholeness of mind and heart, and
Yes.
and yet the state of the world seems to be getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you ask with all your will and all your heart and all your might and all your strength. I mean, isn't that when we finally on our knees, we just have to get to that place when we're so desperate, we ask from like a different place. Ask and you shall receive has to be 100% ask.
Yeah, and it's also, what are you asking for? I mean,
for
are
truth,
you asking,
of course.
That's a big one.
Yeah. The truth will correct all the errors in my... Pamela, you've done Course in Miracles as well?
I've done Course in Miracles since 2008.
Fantastic.
But not all the time, and not all the time.
That's okay. We forgive you. Just kidding.
I'm forgiven.
I mean, I suppose what I'm asking for is the healing of my mind and the reflection of that in the world. That's what I'm asking for.
Yeah.
And I don't. Yeah.
You actually, sometimes we have an image what we ask for, and sometimes that image is not real, so we are asking for something that's not there.
Mm.
That's why the complete dislodgement of the structural is necessary for a moment. That's why the Course in Miracles runs it home, and it's really lovely to read this with actually you guys who are all done Course.
Yeah.
It really is a different perspective somewhat.
Yeah.
How this lands in us. Really enjoying that. I mean, and Course of Love, of course, because the Course of Love has just been such a major help to Course in Miracles. I don't know how many of you realizing that.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh, I just missed that last bit.
Yeah. Say that again.
I just missed the last thing you said. Sorry.
What did I say?
Oh,
It was about A Course in Love.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Course of Love has been such a help with the Course in Miracles in a way that Course in Miracles could not be possibly fully understood unless it has the primer of the Course of Love, because it gives it almost like a key, like unlocks it. Course of Love unlocked something that I could not unlock with the Course of Miracles.
Yeah, I felt that too.
And that was after 27 years of doing Course of Miracles comes the Course of Love and unlock something that all that time could just not shift. And I opened up Course of Love and immediately it was unlocked.
Yeah. I found I used to go to A Course of Love meetings in Findhorn, and it opened my heart in a way that A Course in Miracles didn't.
Yes.
Mm. Yeah, I struggle hugely with it.
Because Course in Miracles is just the mind training, and that's people think that the mind is the whole mind, but it's not. The whole mind is way, way more than the little training that occurred, like it's almost this tiny little frequency had to be reshifted differently to be able to comprehend or look with one eye rather than with two. Like it did ignite the vision within that suddenly there is an eye with which to see.
Yeah.
What do you say to that, Anthony?
I was just looking at all the people at the moment.
What? What?
I was just looking at all of you guys waving and saying hello. Oh. But beautiful.
Oh, beautiful. All right. Shall we dive into the erroneous ideas of God? Just very handy. False images and imagination of what God could possibly be, which is impossible to imagine.
Right.
Anthony, you with us? What page we're up to?
Are we up to paper 5?
5.
Yeah. Erroneous Ideas of God. Yeah.
Paper
Yeah.
5. I've got paper 5.
I'm going to tackle that one. Religious tradition is the imperfectly preserved record of the experiences of the God-knowing man of the past ages. It's true, huh? But such records are untrustworthy as guides for religious living or as a source of true information about the universal Father. Hey Alice, good to see you, Dan. We're doing URANTIA book. You gonna just listen? We can't hear you, honey.
Yeah, I don't have that book, so I'll just listen.
Yeah, okay. Good for you. Such ancient beliefs have been invariably altered by the fact that primitive man was a myth maker. A myth maker.
Well, you sent us that link about how Moses wasn't even a real person.
Oh yeah, that woman is so funny, isn't she?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love the way she puts it, and she cracks up and she's full of joy. You know, for me, if there is a teacher and it's very serious, I find it absolutely going like that. When God's there is this inner joy that's almost unbearable, you know. Just the reverberation is just so, you know, like it's passionate in a way.
And I can imagine what a lot of the churches feel about what she has to say. How dare she blaspheme?
They put her in that category, you know, they dismiss her immediately.
Yeah.
One of the greatest sources of confusion on Urantia, which is our planet, concerning the nature of God grows out of the failure of your sacred books clearly to distinguish between personalities of the Paradise Trinity and between Paradise Deity and the local universe creators and administrators. Hi, you guys. Where are you?
We're only just finding out about this now. Come on.
Like, where was this before? You know? During the past dispensations of partial understanding, your priests and prophets felt clarified to
We've done it again.
Oh yeah. Felt clearly to differentiate between planetary princes, system sovereigns, constellation fathers, creator sons, super universe rulers, the supreme being, and the universal Father.
Yeah, because it's all so clear.
Wow.
I know. Yeah, we definitely missed those.
I don't think anyone's ever explained what they are in all of history.
Yeah.
Like
hence we have this,
knowledge.
What they call the fifth epochal revelation, which Bible was fourth. And I think we're ready for the next one. I mean, look how much confusion there is, really. How many wars and how many conflicts. You know, people comparing, you know, nothing with nothing. And everyone's right, huh?
Everybody's. I think they're all in abject fear, you know. Even the ones in top power, apparently. I think they're all in fear.
Yeah.
But how did you guys enjoy the bishop?
Bishop?
That woman that talk about they gave a sermon on the Trump's inauguration.
I think she was absolutely amazing and very brave.
She was so beautiful and
very brave.
Absolutely amazing.
So clear and not really emotional, because I would have cracked it.
Yeah.
I would have started screaming at him.
Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. And that she just nailed it. And I love that she was like somewhere above this whole thing and just reigned it. It just went.
Is there somewhere you can post it for us?
It's everywhere. Like if you go on YouTube, just type in Bishop and it will cover you.
Bishop Trump.
Everywhere, yeah.
Okay.
What was her name?
Cool.
I don't know. But if you just put
I can't
Bishop
remember her
and
name.
Trump.
I can see her face, but I can't remember her name.
Anyway,
but if you just put Trump and Bishop, you'll get it.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll get it.
Right.
A must watch. Absolutely beautiful. And all is she asking from the bottom of her heart? She's asking, "Hey, have mercy on people. You know, just have mercy on people, please. Like that's all we're asking. Like there are people, and and some of them are hardworking people. They're not all criminals. And that was just so heartfelt. It was beautiful.
Right, I'll have to have a look. I have to have a look.
Yeah. No, you love it. All right. Now, where did I finish, anyone?
Many of the messages.
And the Universal Father, you're up to, I think.
Many of the messages, yeah.
Oh, yeah, many of the messages of the subordinate personalities. Is that just life carriers and various orders of angels have been in your records presented as coming from God himself, small h. Urantian religious thought still confuses the associate personalities of deity with the universal Father himself, so that all are included under one appellation.
Yeah, true.
People of Urantia continue to suffer from the influence of primitive concepts of God. Oh, Jesus. The gods, small g, who go on a rampage in the storm, who shake the earth in their wrath and strike down men in their anger, or choose presidents, just kidding, who inflict their judgments of displeasure in times of famine and flood. These are the gods of primitive religion. They are not the God who live and rule the universes. Gods who live and rule the universes. Such concepts are a relic of the times when men supposed that the universe was under the guidance and domination of the whims of such imaginary gods. But mortal man is beginning to realize that he lives in a realm of comparative law and order as far as concerns the administrative policies. Jesus, this is hard for me this morning. A conduct of the supreme creators and supreme controllers.
I have no idea what that last sentence means.
Could you read it again, the last sentence, please?
Can someone else read it? I think it's just the way I.
But mortal man is beginning to realize that he lives in a realm of comparative law and order as far as concerns the administrative policies and conduct of the supreme creators and the supreme controllers.
Beautiful.
Still have no idea.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
accept you can't understand, and it will come back some other time.
Yeah.
I don't understand it either. Anybody understands it?
Well, are they talking on a human level or not?
Well, talk about mortal man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, he's beginning to realize that he lives in a realm of comparative law. So we are in this all,
Whereas before it was just at the whim of any god. It was chaos.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. We're all eating from the tree of good and knowledge, good and bad. We're living dual world where everything is based on comparison and levels.
Comparative law and order, as in, we're seeing that, I suppose, where science speaks of law and order, of there being divine law and order in the universe, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like we're not savages anymore, and we've evolved.
Oh, really? We're not?
I reckon we are.
You look at the state of the world, we're savages still. Some of us.
Yeah, true.
I know what you were meaning, Anthony.
Yeah, we've evolved a little bit.
There is a movement. There is.
If we could look down and see all the light, we would be quite amazed. There's a lot of light.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
we focus on that.
Yes, in our little comparative law, we have improved. The barbarous idea of appeasing an angry God. Yeah. Of
propitiating.
Thank you. An offered Lord.
Offended.
Someone else must read. I'm blind.
I think you're a bit tired today, Cole.
Yes.
Shall I read it?
And I'm in a very low comparative low order right now.
Oh, have a rest.
Very dense frequency of mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Anthony.
I'll give it a go. The barbarous idea of appeasing an angry God.
Yeah, barbarous.
Eh?
Sorry.
It's
all right.
Of propitiating an offended Lord, of winning the favor of deity through sacrifices and penance. Ugh. I like to do a bit of penance. And even by the shredding of blood.
Shedding.
What did I say? Shred?
Shred the blood.
Shredding.
Put you in the
shredder.
Sorry.
Barbarian, Anthony.
Yes. The low
I'll mute myself.
Represents a religion wholly, I don't know what that word is.
Puerile,
pure, and primitive. Oh, yeah, I know what it means. A philosophy unworthy of an enlightened age of science and truth. Such beliefs are utterly repulsive to the celestial beings and the divine rulers who serve and reign in the universes. It is an affront to God to believe, hold, or teach that innocent blood must be shed in order to win his favor or to divert the fictitious divine wrath. He believed that without the shedding of blood, there could be no remission of sin. Jesus. They had not found deliverance from the old and pagan idea that the gods could not be appeased except by the sight of blood. Excuse me. Though Moses did make a distinctive advance when he forbade the human sacrifices and substituted, therefore, in the primitive minds of his childlike Bedouin followers, the ceremonial sacrifice of animals.
I wonder if circumcision is like one of the last things they hang on to.
Yeah,
the shedding of
What did
blood,
you say?
you know, of an innocent child. Like, come on.
Oh,
here,
did you say circumcision?
Well, that suddenly came into my mind. Like, it's a
Okay.
shedding of blood, isn't it? They're
Hmm.
cutting an innocent child, for fuck's sake. Like, they still do it. They're
Well, they
hanging on
do it
to
with
it.
women too in some parts of the world too.
Well, but talk about the Hebrews and their custom of the blood. So they're still doing it.
Yeah, bloody Jews, huh?
I don't know.
So apparently Moses did exist according to this.
Yes.
So
So I'm now,
think
I'll
just
just
the
stay
way-
open.
confused.
I think the way that we imagine Moses to be, I think that he didn't exist maybe that way. I mean, really, he came up with so much kind of like, that's what I call it, like a part of us that's guilty and judgmental is that which makes the laws of this world. Thou shalt not, thou shalt not do any, and if you do it, you've sinned against God. I mean, what a setup.
So Moses was 2,000 years before Christ, I think, from the book. So was he just a man, not like Jesus? Not,
I don't know. I guess
you can't quite.
it'd be interesting to come to that section and be explained by this book.
Because he did change the face of the earth from
Yeah.
savage to sort of like
Yeah.
He's known as, the one who led the Hebrews out of slavery.
Yeah. Anyway.
But he didn't get to go to the promised land himself. So that's sort of,
He missed the mark himself.
Mm.
Said it for others. But again, here we are with our amazing capacity to think. We're going to come to some conclusion. That's kind of probably of minimal worth. Yeah.
Just making more shit up.
Making more shit up. You nailed it.
Like I could do with some more shit.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Let's get some clarity.
All right.
Here we go. Next bit.
The bestowal of the paradise sun on your world was inherent in the situation of closing a planetary age. That's Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
It was inescapable, and it was not made necessary for the purpose of winning the favor of God.
Yeah. This
bestowal also happened to be the final personal act of a creator son in the long adventure of earning the sovereignty of his universe. What a travesty upon the infinite character of God. This teaching that his fatherly heart and all its austere coldness and hardness was so untouched by the misfortunes and sorrows of his creatures that his tender mercies were not forthcoming until he saw his blameless son bleeding and dying on the cross of Calvary. But the inhabitants...
Jesus.
That's not good.
But the inhabitants of Erroneous are to find deliverance from these ancient errors and pagan superstitions respecting the nature of the Universal Father. the revelation of the truth about God is appearing, and the human race is destined to know the universal Father in all that beauty of character and loveliness of attributes so magnificently portrayed by the Creator Son, who sojourned on URANTIA as the Son of Man and the Son of God. Amen.
That was rather fast. I need a moment to...
Yeah. Presented by Divine Counselor of Uversa.
It's interesting, a Son of Man is with a capital M, as the Son of God and the Son of Son of Man and the Son of God.
Because because I read the last section of the book on Jesus, on the life of Jesus. I read it a few years ago, and they said that he came to. His main message was God is your Father, and He's a loving Father. Yes. Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves his children.
Love God, love you, brother. Love your brothers and sisters.
Beautiful.
It's amazing in the reading this morning when I was walking. I've never thought of God the Father as the Father of the whole universe. Be thankful for everything, just puts in a magnitude that I've never felt before, as well as being infinite and everything else.
I always find that 5-minute long video that's out there. Remember that one where it just shows you graphically how huge the whole thing is? Shall we watch it together? We could watch it here. I could put it on. We could just watch this 5-minute long video, which is absolutely incredible. And just kind of explains, and it shows graphically how massive this whole thing is, and how tiny we are in this whole spectrum.
And we're at the bottom of it.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. Yes and no.
Well, we're not really. We're part of it.
We are part of it, but in terms of movement, we can only go up.
They call these evolutionary worlds, and we get to find out later. Or actually, this is where it's quite beautifully explained in that video. Like, we're just part of this, 600 and I don't know how many, 18, I think, evolutionary worlds of this particular section of the universe called Satania, and they are evolutionary worlds where you become physical. You kind of given this soul thing, and then you travel through this incredible evolutionary journey. It's just way more tangible than anything else.
Would you want to put it up then, Cole?
Yeah, if you guys want to, we could watch it together. It's only 5 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to. so maybe we can start the next chapter
next time.
You don't want to do any more reading today?
We could. I'm easy. I'm at ease today. Not in a hurry anyway. I'm playing a wedding in the afternoon.
I wouldn't mind doing some more reading.
I would like to do some more. I would like to hear some more.
Okay, great. So let's put this on because it's only 5 minutes. Let me just set it up.
And the other thing that was amazing about this morning's reading is about emotion. I just clicked that emotion is just motion of feeling. If you said to someone, just have some, just have motion.
Energy and motion.
Energy and motion.
Yeah.
Energy and motion, right. Emotion.
Sort of.
E equals MC squared, energy.
Yeah. Let's go downstairs.
Okay, I'm nearly there. Share. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
See if I can make it bigger.
The Urantia book states it once, page 359.
How's that?
Yeah.
Can you make it full screen?
Let's see.
That one.
Is it good?
So
Still the same.
There are 3,840,100.
It's still the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try it again.
Well, I've got it on full screen here.
No, maybe
okay.
it can't go full screen for us because we're on it as well. I mean, we're on the page as well.
it's big enough. Yeah.
I don't know how to make it any bigger.
That's okay.
Inhabited planets currently in our local universe in Abaddon. So, how do we get our heads around that number? Let's pick a planet other than Urantia, one of those other 3,840,101 planets of our local universe, and represent it with a blue square. And let's do some math. Since our local universe is divided into 10,000 local systems, that means an average local system would have about 384 inhabited planets. So here's a thin bar made up of 383 blue squares, and we'll add this planet on the end of it to make a local system of 384 planets. We're going to rotate it around and place it with other rods representing local systems within our local universe. Now, 100 local systems make up another subunit, a constellation. These gray bars each represent a constellation, and we have 100 of these constellations in our local universe. You may recall from the Urantia book that a fully complete local system would have 1,000 planets. So the height of these constellations are each 1,000 planets tall to give you an idea of the incompleteness of the systems of our local universe. In this illustration, the numbers of inhabited planets in each local system vary from about 200 to around 700 planets. Let's move on over to our local system, represented by this darker blue rod. Our local system has 619 worlds, and up here, represented by this green square, is our planet, number 606, Urantia. As we pull back, Urantia soon disappears in the 3,840,100 worlds of our local universe of Nebulon. Now, our local universe is part of another subunit, a minor sector, which contains 100 local universes such as ours. Our minor sector is called Insect and has 1 billion projected inhabited planets. and our minor sector is part of the next subunit, a major sector encompassing 100 minor sectors. Our major sector is called Splendid and has 10,000 local universes and 100 billion projected inhabited worlds. Splendid is major sector number 5 within the next subunit, our superuniverse of URANTIA, consisting of 10 major sectors. URANTIA has 100,000 local universes and a projected number of 1 trillion inhabited worlds. Our superuniverse is number 7 of 7 superuniverses, home to 700,000 local universes such as ours, containing a projected total of 7 trillion inhabited worlds. These 7 superuniverses orbit the central universe, the center of which is paradise, the divine residence of our universal Father, God of all creation. Going beyond the central and superuniverses are the 4 outer space levels, areas of future creation. Of course, nothing here is to scale. The size comparison of our central and superuniverses to the outermost space level is similar to that of a golf ball to our moon. So let's head back to the grand universe, to our superuniverse, to our major sector, to our minor sector, to our local universe, to all our neighboring local systems, to URANTIA, the planet where our Creator's Son, Michael, Jesus, chose to live his life as a mortal. In our local universe, 1 world out of 3,840,101 inhabited planets.
Oh,
Wow. That puts my problems in perspective. My little ego.
yeah.
It's all relevant, Anthony.
From his perspective, that's huge.
Mm.
Beautiful, guys. Oopsie. All right. So, well, if you guys want to read a little bit more, we can.
Sure.
Let's do it then. Paper
You want to
5.
read, Kim?
Hey,
You want to read?
sure.
Thanks, Kim.
I don't know how my voice will sound. If it's annoying, let me know.
That's
It's
all
all
right.
stuffing.
We'll enjoy it.
Paper 5. God's relation to the individual. If the finite mind of man is unable to comprehend how so great and so majestic a God as the universal Father can descend from his eternal abode in infinite perfection to fraternize with the individual human creature, then must such a finite intellect rest assurance of divine fellowship upon the truth of the fact that an actual fragment of the living God resides within the intellect of every normal-minded and morally conscious URANTIA mortal.
Mm.
It's interesting that it says normal-minded.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised to be honest.
So
it is interesting that it just does say that, yeah.
So it must mean that perhaps there are people that don't have the fragment.
Yeah,
anyway.
maybe.
The indwelling thought adjusters are a part of the eternal deity of the Paradise Father. Man does not have to go farther than his own inner experience of the soul's contemplation of this spiritual reality presence to find God and attempt communion with him. Thank God for that.
Yes, thank God for that.
Yeah. God has distributed the infinity of his eternal nature throughout the existential realities of his 6 absolute coordinates, that he may, at any time, make direct personal contact with any part or phase or kind of creation through the agency of his pre-personal fragments. And the eternal God has also reserved to himself the prerogative of bestowing personality upon the divine creators and the living creatures of the universe of universes, while he has further reserved the prerogative of maintaining direct and parental contact with all these personal beings through the personality circuit. Personality circuit. Gosh. So, someone else like to read?
Can anybody say what they're thinking about the personality circuit?
I would have thought it was personality circus, I would have thought.
Yeah. Very apt, yeah.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm confused about personality because it talks about God as being a personality as well.
Yeah.
I think it's again one of those things where we have an image what the personality is based on our limited point of view. But I think it's something that it's like, imagine the essence of your being is personality, like your particular construct.
Like your blueprint or something.
Yes, like a blueprint, like a core of your essence, which is almost unreachable from this limited perspective of these eyes, for example. But it can be seen by the inner, by the heart, let's say. The heart has a completely different perspective on everything.
So it's not like the I was going to say ego, but even higher ego or whatever type of ego, it's not that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it talks about the personality staying with us through the evolution of the soul, but not our looks and our body, but our personality. And every personality is really different.
Be interesting to look that up in the dictionary, actually, personality.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'll do it after for my own amusement.
We can have a look what it says.
Because personality is trying to break the word up.
The combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive character. I think this is much bigger. Like when you, if you, I don't know how many of you remember, but in the very introduction, it talks about like a mind, and then spirit, and then something else, and then something else, and then personality. So it's really like, you know, it's very high part of you, like it's that, or maybe like within more like the essence of your being.
Yeah.
It's very particular to you yourself. There's no one like you. Even on a deeper spiritual level, is no one like you.
No.
Just same as we are, like all look different and we're all different construct of things. I think the essence is that way too, but in some beyond comprehension way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, if they can point just to. We're looking at this from a very limited perspective at this point. We're programmed by distortions.
I wonder if that's the I that we refer to. The I is that personality. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Even whatever I said just then, it's like it's not written in a stone. Like that's the beauty of A Course in Miracles. Like teaches you to doubt everything that you think you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for a moment to be able to see truly. So like a lot of these are just pointers. But once that universal experience takes place, like if you put it in a prayer, it's like, God, show me the meaning of personalities. Ask and you shall receive. At some point you'll get an answer.
Yeah.
And there might be a whole chapter on this, a whole section on this in more explanation, or it comes out of other things that we put together and Should we do one more?
Yeah.
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 You guys are keen. A long one.
Well, got a lot to get through.
Yeah.
We're back to you, Kevin. Oh.
Lovely. My internet just died, I think.
Being recorded.
Here we go.
That cool.
You're on mute, Cole.
I don't know what happened. Just internet glitch of some kind.
I'll just start again.
Yeah, go ahead.
The approach to God, number one. The inability of the finite creature to approach the infinite Father is inherent, not in the Father's aloofness, but in the finiteness and material limitations of created beings. The magnitude of the spiritual difference between the highest personality of the universe and the lower groups of created intelligence.
Of universe existence.
Of universe existence and the lower groups of created intelligence is inconceivable. Were it possible for the lower orders of intelligence to be transported instantly into the presence of the Father himself, they would not know they were there.
Yes, I love that. That's.
Can you explain that, please?
It's like, because you have to be able to see God, or even the higher celestial realms, you have to have this, I think they call it sensations or something. Like you open up certain vision within yourself. So if you don't have that, you will come to the paradise and it will look like Mars.
Yeah.
It will be just a rock and thing, and you won't see a thing. So
Yeah.
with these eyes, it's impossible to see it. So that would be the
like today's lesson. There's another way of looking at this.
Yes.
Through the eyes of love, vision.
You know, in the Course in Miracles, they talk about vision. Yeah, vision. Yeah, it took me 30 years to actually have the pure experience of it, or even realize that, that's what the vision is. You don't have to have your eyes open at all. Like sometimes I sit with my friends and we sit together and we have our eyes closed and we just go, oh my God, I can really see you. Right? But we're looking at each other. We are looking with something else in us that sees perfectly. So, and I think that's just like one of the little sensations with which to see. And I think there are many of those. If you don't have those awaken in you, you will not be able to see what's really.
I sort of saw it as like what you were talking about before too, as the difference in density of the vibration that we are operating in.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the Course of Love says, you know, you're looking for God in form. We still somewhere deep down think it's some kind of form. And that's why it can't be found, because it's just not going to be that way. And we're so accustomed seeing form everywhere. That's all we know exists in a way.
It's funny because when you said looking for God, then the words that came right into my mind were in all the wrong places.
That's it. That's why the training of A Course in Miracles is so profound, because it really trains your mind to another way of seeing, another way of perceiving that, you know, it's just definitely, it's with that, what they call the spiritual eye, or the, you know.
Yeah, like if we're actually in heaven and walking around in heaven.
Yes.
But we can't perceive it because
we can't see exactly.
We haven't developed whatever we need to develop to perceive it.
Yeah,
so,
and that's why he says, you know, God is in everything you see. You just can't see it.
Yeah.
So
and, it must take a very long time.
Well,
like evolutionary beings to develop these new organs.
Miracle abolishes that, but even if you have a revelation, sometimes you just don't know it was a revelation.
Right.
Like when I first time I heard the voice, just let me finish this. When I first time heard the voice, it was only later I realized that was the voice.
Yeah.
Like when it was happening, I was just going like, my God, what is this? Like you in this, I know I was sitting in there going like, what did just happen to me? Like I had no sensation. I had no data to give that any meaning. The meaning had to be given to it later. And then there was the next one. And I go, wow, what's this? It's similar to the previous one, but it's like, wow, what is this? So even when you awaken, you kind of, it takes a moment to go like, oh God, that's vision. Like I said, it took me 30 years to realize what the vision is.
But then it's not permanent either. It's like a fleeting.
This one is permanent, honey.
Oh, no, I haven't got that permanent one, but it's just a fleeting thing. You get a slight glimpse of something, and then it's gone. You know.
Yeah, but that's wonderful to get that. That's wonderful. Yeah. You know, that's wonderful.
Yeah. It's very humbling. It's a humbling experience. It's deeply humbling. Yeah.
It's interesting that a lot of the healing in the Bible is to do with sight, isn't it? Healing the blind.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He wasn't healing the guys who had an eye problem.
Yeah.
You know, when it says in the Bible, he was, you know, healing the blind. He was healing the crowds that could not see anything divine.
Yes.
all this. So it was the world of Herod, like structures and power and richness and
crucifixions.
Yes.
Mm.
And then when someone could see, he was not physically blind, but hey, that's translated like, wow, he was a good healer. He was sick,
There's another thing in the Bible, the story of when he's in the boat and there's the storm and he says, "Peace, be still," and then everyone in churches now talk about that as if he's talking to the waves. But then we're given the answer to that in A Course in Miracles, where he says, "Peace to my mind, let all my thoughts."
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Same as with the floods. For me, the floods is more like this deeply emotional, where you feel God in you. When you feel God in every cell of your being, where it reverberates you, when it informs you in a way that you've never been informed before and could not even possibly imagine that such a thing could exist.
Mm.
Yeah, and it can come in waves, because
yes,
we can only be where we're at, and God knows where we're at. So he's not going to, I'm saying but he's not going to overwhelm us, Well, it's got to be where we're at and how we can,
what you can handle,
cope, if you like, with whatever it is.
Yeah.
And for most people, it's a gradual thing. It's not just a big, it's very rare that it's all just at once, because that's that'll be too much.
Yeah, it's too much. It's so intense. Yeah. So that purification is necessary first.
Absolutely.
And a purification is that, see that holding grievances will not allow you to see the truth.
No, you've got to do it in the mind. You've got to purify the mind. Yeah.
In my language, Slovakian, grievance means make yourself heavy. And I love that, how that word means that. Grievance, you make yourself heavy, and in that heaviness, you become very dense. And
that's the meaning, isn't it, of weight, is the density of...
Yes. Yeah. And you're no longer Peter Pan. You can't fly anymore. You're just dense and heavy, and then it teaches us to release grievances, and how unwilling are we let go of some grievances.
I think there comes a point, well, only speaking from my own experience, I held on for a long time, and there comes a point where it's where you cannot be bothered with it anymore. You just can't be asked to get anymore.
Yeah, it gets to the point where it's actually boring now.
It is. It's like, the hell with this.
And what is it giving you,
Yeah. So
that's where the miracle comes in. The miracle comes
years, in. I mean, what?
Yes. Like the miracle comes in, and it for a second shows you the truth, just even for a second. And in that moment, you go like, why would I hold on to anything when I could actually be experience this? So it's like in that God experience in which we forgive. You have a God experience, and then you go like, God, I'd be stupid to hold on to any grievance.
And then you go, oh yeah, I'm pretty stupid.
Not as stupid as me.
It's not even forgiven in the sense of forgiven. It's just letting it go.
Yeah, you let it go.
Yeah.
You just
let it go. Let it go.
You drop the barriers to love's presence, but you have to be even aware that you have this, barriers.
Yeah, well, you can't change anything if you're not aware of it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So actually, to feel lots of grievances and be aware of that is it's a good thing.
That's a huge step.
It's a really good thing.
Part of it, because I've noticed sometimes,
that's a huge bit.
The last few years, I've felt more grievances and more anger and more this and more that.
Yeah, well, that's good.
But now you're becoming transparent. Now you actually no longer hiding it. You know, when you're willing to hide nothing, you will enter into communion. So when you know, Anthony, particularly you know, you're so deeply emotional. And when you show all that, that's the revelation. You go like, guys, I've got all this shit in me. Look at it. And we're laughing with you. We're laughing with you because it's no longer in hiding.
Yeah.
You know,
it's coming out with the shadows. Coming out with the shadows.
Coming out with the shadows and bringing them to light.
And then if you're really ever stuck on a grievance, that section in, of course, I can't remember what page it is. What is forgiveness? That page. What is forgiveness? Forgiveness recognizes that what you thought your brother did to you has not occurred.
Yeah.
You know, I stayed with that for weeks and weeks and weeks. I just went in and used that as my meditation for weeks at one point. And I found it very, very helpful. Of course, you still slip back into things, but yeah.
We are slippery slope. I'm proud of it. All right, guys, should we maybe leave it at that?
Let me just finish this paragraph because
finish the paragraph, yeah. But
I'll go back to where it was possible.
Where it possible
were 5.11. I'm sort of in the middle somewhere. Were it possible for the lower orders of intelligence to be transported instantly into the presence of the Father himself, they would not know they were there.
Mm-hmm.
They would there be just as oblivious of the presence of the universal Father as where they are now.
Mm.
Well, I must not bother.
This is lovely what's coming. Watch this.
There is a long, long road ahead of mortal man before he can consistently and within the realms of possibility ask for safe conduct into the paradise presence of the universal Father.
Yes.
Spiritually, man must be translated many times before he can attain a plane that will yield the spiritual vision which will enable him to see even any one of the 7 master spirits.
Wow, beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
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 Well,
look at that, the next bit. Our Father is not in hiding.
Yeah. Well, do that one as well. Let's do one more.
Yeah.
It's hard to...
And talking of slippery slopes.
Yeah.
Our Father is not in hiding. He is not in arbitrary seclusion. He has mobilized the resources of divine wisdom in a never-ending effort to reveal himself to the children of his universal domains. There is an infinite grandeur and an inexpressible generosity connected with the majesty of his love, which causes him to yearn for the association of every created being who can comprehend, love, or approach him. And it is, therefore, the limitations inherent in you, inseparable from your finite personality and material existence, that determine the time and place and circumstances in which you may achieve the goal of the journey of mortal ascension and stand in the presence of the Father at the centre of all things.
Beautiful.
Some pretty big stuff going on there, aren't we?
What a lovely meeting, guys. I really loved every minute of it today.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it's been good.
Maybe we should maybe call this Urantia and A Course in Miracle. Because it's such a good mix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like, for me, it's a bit like there's A Course in Miracles, and then there's the bridge, which is, I mean, A Course in Miracles was the bridge of Jesus, was presenting us with the bridge of Jesus to come to some relationship with God, but it was like mind thing. And then I feel like A Course of Love is the bridge from that to this.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm even dipping into the New Testament, and I read something in there the other day from the Gospel of John, and tears just rolled down my cheeks. So it's just whatever comes, or whatever you're guided, whatever's coming to you, it's all.
The Gospel of John is amazing.
Oh, it's lovely.
Have you read any Joel Goldsmith?
Oh no.
Because he believed, the Gospel of John was where he said it was all about.
Well, I'm reading it very slowly, and it's just lovely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's good to laugh too, isn't it?
Yes. Yep. There's a great necessity for it.
When you laugh, we're talking about raising vibrations. When you laugh, you raise your vibration.
Yeah.
And you're open to the higher realms, if you like, when you laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I've been waking myself up laughing from that half sleep state. I just suddenly find myself laughing.
Yes.
I think someone's telling me jokes.
Yes.
Well, sometimes it works like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. This is incredible, and I just want to keep on reading. So I will.
I think I'm going to have to get the book.
Yeah.
There's a beautiful section in the last part where there's the whole life of Jesus is written out from before he was born, who he was, and so on, and then he goes through this whole sort of years of waking, saying, "My time has not come yet." I love that section. He keeps going, "My time has not come yet." And when his time comes, he speaks just like the Course in Miracles. Everything that's written in there is so almost word to word expressions that I've written in the Course. So Course in Miracles really is direct Jesus just whispering into your ear without any distortions, giving you the best possible ideas how to dislodge the structure and the blocks that we placed on ourselves to be so blind. So
that will be great when that comes around.
Yes, but you can also, this is all on YouTube, and you could listen to many different various people reading it, and so you could listen to the whole story of Jesus apart from this. It works fine. It works fine. It doesn't matter where you read in URANTIA book.
No.
I could not read this book for years. The beginning, I could only listen to the Jesus story, and I think I listened to it 3 times before I dared to even go to any other section, because it was just way too dense for me. My mind was too dense to be able to comprehend any of it.
Well, we're on page 62, and there's only 2,040 odd pages to go.
That's it. What else is there to do, huh?
Well, yeah. What else is there
to do? Watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, I do enough of that.
I can't find anything on Netflix I could watch.
Oh, Ancient Apocalypse is really interesting. Ancient Apocalypse.
On Netflix?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially season 1. It's very interesting.
Wow. All right, beloved.
I'm going dancing.
You're going dancing.
That sounds fantastic.
Movement, being, expression.
Living it close.
Enjoy.
I'm playing at the wedding today.
Cool.
What do you play?
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
I'm a professional guitar player.
They have very good taste.
It's
So what kind of dance are you doing, Anthony?
It's just ecstatic dance movement.
Oh, nice. Oh, I've been to Five Rhythms here in Finthorn quite a lot.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Oh,
that's really good. Yeah,
I love it.
Pardon?
I love it. Five Rhythms.
Yeah, it's really good.
I have done it in the past, not for a long time. Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Usually put my back out.
Yeah, me too. Oh, my neck. Oh.
What were you going to say, Cole?
I was just I'm playing at the wedding. I'm playing at the wedding of a girlfriend of mine who we went out 40 years ago.
Oh.
And she has a son who used to be my student. I got him guitar, and now he's getting married, so I'm playing at his wedding. So it's and another interesting things happening with how this my son is now playing guitar, and we play together, and he's absolutely like just soaks it in and plays really well. Like learned everything. Like I struggled, and he just didn't. He just doesn't. But funny enough, he's at school, and his teacher, his music teacher, is my students from 25 years ago.
Wow.
Coming full circle.
It's incredible. And I love how this happens, you know, that some of my old students are now in their 40s with kids, and one of them is going to be my son's teacher. So it's like music teachers.
I'm going to get my grandson to teach me the guitar in the summertime.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I used to play classical guitar too, Cole, but it was more for me like my struggle through A Course of Miracles. And I gave it up. It was too hard. I really enjoyed it, but it was too hard. It took too much of my time and energy, and I couldn't maintain it.
You know what you really, if any suggestion with music is that learn like 4 chords. That's all you really need. 4 chords. And pretty much most of the songs that you actually love and would like to be a play are not more than 4 or 5 chords.
Yeah.
And then you just and find the simplest way possible to do it. And you don't need theory, you don't need anything extra.
Yeah. I had 2 music teachers as my parents, and my dad was a superb jazz
really
and so it's sort of a high bar.
No, you don't go there. You don't go there.
Yeah.
You don't go to the high bar. You just find a couple of
now, if I was going to do music of any sort, I would sing. It's just easiest. Well, I have my voice.
A little drum. I've been drumming this week, and that's fantastic because you can just do whatever.
I might take up the triangle.
Oh yeah,
that's even simpler.
That at school. That and the recorder.
A ukulele is also very, very short way to get something.
Yeah, really good.
Learn the easiest 4 chords and just find songs. There is hundreds of songs based on 4 chords. Actually, if you want to see something quite amazing, what is it called? I think it's called 4 chord song, isn't it? And it's this funny skit where these guys are playing 4 chords and they're singing all the famous tunes one after another.
Yes.
It's very funny. And then you realize how many songs are based on these 4 chords.
Yeah. Even Moonlight Sonata, I think, might have 5 or 6 chords.
No, that Moonlight Sonata. I actually my son woke up the other day. He goes like, can we do a duet of the Moonlight? So I've wrote it for him. That's a bit more complex.
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, the first part of it is only about 6 chords, isn't it?
Yeah, no, first part, there's a lot. There are basic chords, but they have these add-ons to it. Like, yeah. No, it's not that simple. I wouldn't go there.
I can learn 3 blank mice, I'll be
But
happy.
you could learn the melody. The melody is easy. Dum da dum, dum da dum, da dum, 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 dum. That's easy. And the chords make this most amazing harmony. I mean, what a genius, Beethoven, huh? Anyway, darlings, mwah.
See you later.
Love you all
Love
too.
you.
So much fun. And you know, people are watching this. People watching our little.
That's okay.
I think we have like 30
I hope I make
followers.
someone laugh today.
Yeah,
You're a
we
jolly
have
bunch.
30 people there. Sometimes leave a message, and it's being watched. So
Yeah.
we are being shared with a much larger group.
Wow.
That's good.
Just love
Right. Love to all. Bye.
Love you
you all.
guys.
See you later.
Ciao.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.